Hello there. By gum, I don't know how Jedi did it. I don't know how they wear those things all the time. They are warm. How's everyone doing? I have a review of another Crimson Dawn saber. This is the Enforcer. It is 10 1/4 inches long. And as with most of Crimson Dawn sabers, it comes with a soundboard that has 6 sound fonts, and it does color changing more or less on the fly, and has a chassis system which contains a lithium-ion 18650 battery. The soundboard is right here, as I will show you. I don't know why, because I've purchased AliExpress sabers and other LG Toys sabers, but Crimson Dawn's sabers tend to have really good quality control. The threading, for one, is usually quite exemplary. It's a very tight fit. So you can see the soundboard, the battery from Saber Studio, and the speaker, all contained in a nice chassis. And here is the handle for the Enforcer. The pommel can be removed as well. And a lot of these parts can be swapped out, as you've probably seen in some of the other channels that are reviewing Crimson Dawn sabers. Everyone's sort of getting on board. Rebel sabers, I haven't purchased a hilt from them just yet, but I imagine that there's a possibility that the quality is quite similar. But I have as yet tried them. Pretty much right now I'm in a brand loyalty mode with Crimson Dawn, because quite frankly they haven't let me down yet, so I don't feel a need to be too adventurous. The thing I like about this particular hilt is it's a kind of a redo of other hilt that I reviewed, an AliExpress hilt, which is essentially the same hilt, but this one is much better made. The AliExpress hilt, there was a looseness and the threading, just none of it was very good. It was good. It's good enough, but I like to feel like, you know, I can swing this around without the handle coming loose on me and having to deal with that kind of nonsense. Let me just do a little bit of a house cleaning duty here real quick, because eventually this will go into deep sleep mode, and then it'll you'll hear it.
The resistance is dead. The war is over.
I'd rather be in control of when that happens. Yeah, so, you know, in a nutshell, the quality of these hilts is quite good, and I'm really enjoying this one. I like the difference in the aesthetic treatment that was given to it. This brushed aluminum finish is really nice, and the anodized bits of black. It's a very aesthetically pleasing saber overall. Design elements kind of touch upon a lot of different standard accents that you'll see in a lot of hilt designs, from the pommel with the cube section, and up to here where you get the blade holder. The emitter is an S-type emitter with this wonderful little cutaway that kind of creates these claws. A lot of lot of places to grip, a lot of rings and areas where you can rest your hands comfortably. Nothing is sharp. The finish is pretty much sublime. There's no blemishes, no sharp edges. It's just a very easy saber to handle. You have a built-in recharge port and a backlit AV switch, and yeah, it's just a marvelous saber. Now let me show you the how to boot it up. I'll just basically hold this for as long as you have to. There's the backlit switch. To color change it, you turn the saber on and you hold this for 2 seconds. This button will blink for you, and then you hold the button and it goes into color change mode. And it cycles through the rainbow. Currently I'm kind of into the magenta for this hilt. I have several Crimson Dawn hilts, and each one I kind of pick a unique color just for that hilt. And for the Enforcer, I'm currently down with the pink / magenta. It goes by quick, so you have to really pay attention. There we go. We'll nudge it a little bit more. There. And then you just hit the button and it locks it in. The cool thing is, with this saber, you can select different blade effects. You can select stable, which is no flicker, unstable, which is your unstable blade, a la Kylo Ren, and then you can have a flicker like this. If you noticed when I was doing the color changing, the flicker turns off and the blade turns solid, so you can see what you're doing. Volume change is basically you hold this for 1 second, release, so you have soft sound.
No sound.
Mute.
Loud sound.
And loud sound. So it's maximum volume. Now to change the sound font, it's 2 presses, or 2 seconds. Or rather 3 seconds, my bad.
That lightsaber was Luke's.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you're not a Jedi yet. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. You have something I want.
Sorry about that, I just couldn't resist. So let's get to Cal Kestis.
I'm Cal Kestis.
Now, I think it's either 1.5 to 2.5 seconds. I'm not exactly sure, I can't remember. But you have to hold it. Let me see.
Stable.
Okay, it's 2 seconds. That gives you your stable blade. Or unstable. It's kind of hard to tell when it says unstable or stable, because it's kind of broken, so it kind of gives you it can be kind of confusing. So this is actually the unstable effect. So you can actually, let me turn that off. You can actually set this to a red blade with the unstable and the Kylo Ren sound font, as I've done with my I can't remember the name of it right now. Well, one of my other Crimson Dawn sabers, I have it set pretty much to just a straight up my Shrike to a straight up Kylo Ren kind of setting. And let's see.
Stable.
So stable, nice and solid. One of the cool things about this RGB mixing, the color mixing on this, is when you get a nice mix of color, when you turn the blade on and off, you get, when the blade fades out, it doesn't fade out all at once. It kind of allows certain colors to kind of come through as it's fading out. So you can get sort of this color changing. It's almost like an emerald driver on a Ultra Saber. Not quite, but it's kind of an interesting effect. And playing with the blade colors really gives you a lot of a different variety for those types of little interesting little, I guess you could call them Easter eggs or whatever. Let's turn this off so you can see what I'm talking about. So it kind of went from that magenta to red, and then when you turn it on, it kind of starts at pink and then turns into magenta and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of surprises in that regard, but I'm going to keep it on a pulse.
Pulse.
It says pulse. And that's where I like to kind of keep this. And when you want to put the Saber into deep sleep mode, if you want to keep it on the sound font that you currently have selected, you want to pretty much just hold this straight through the blade turning off and just keep holding it until the Saber powers down. And that way the next time you turn it on, your preferred sound font will be selected.
Resistance is dead. The war is over.
So this thing came with a 36-inch blade, which I have kind of trimmed down to a 32-inch blade. That's the length that I prefer. But it's really it's a pretty good quality blade. It's kind of a trans white blade. I like the tip. The tip doesn't have any real discoloration. I mean, let's see. I'll turn it back on again. You don't have to sit there and listen to the intro music. You could just turn the Saber on. So I had to take the diffusing film out and cut it down when I cut down the blade to 32 inches. So it got a little bit, the diffusing film I think got a little bit pinched up here. So I got to deal with that. But for the most part, you can see the light. If it wasn't for the diffusing film being all screwed up here, it sort of goes all the way to the tip. And it illuminates pretty consistently. From about here to here is the brightest. But then it stays pretty satisfactorily bright all the way to the end of the blade. So I do like these blades. One ding is that I do tend to find that the blades that I've been receiving are a little bit warped. It's a slight thing. Only an OCD person like myself will notice. But what I generally do is I put the blade in. I kind of look down the barrel of the blade, and if the blade is straight, I kind of get the curve to aim down, so that kind of gives the sort of the vibe of swinging the Saber, and it's just sort of the blade is just sort of curving as you swing it, so that makes it a little bit tolerable. Alright, and then of course you have your blaster block effect. It's really nice on these Sabers because you can actually hit blaster block as fast as you want and just kind of go crazy. The lockup is you hold this and then you tap it. It's kind of, you hold it for 1 second, then you tap it. And then of course you have your flashes. So it's really just kind of chock full of features, and the quality is there, and it's a really neat little hilt. And I'm starting to find that I'm kind of getting into the mode where I really want to get as many of these sabers as I can, because like I said, I've seen people doing a bit of mixing and matching with the saber parts. It works across the spectrum of all the sabers that kind of come from LG Toys, which is where these originate from. And Rebel Sabers, they also offer LG Toys sabers. And the parts are kind of mix and match. And whereas Crimson Dawn sells some that Rebel Sabers doesn't offer, and vice versa, so you can really get some customization going. And there are actually other companies out there that are just sort of specializing in doing just that kind of customization. But I'm pretty much just sticking with Crimson Dawn. I'm just going to keep purchasing sabers from them. This Thursday, if all goes well, I have a NeoPixel Osprey coming from them. So I'm really looking forward to unboxing and reviewing that saber. I'm kind of really eager to see how the NeoPixel works with this particular soundboard. This is they call it the Crocodon V4. It's sort of the standard board that they have. I actually kind of like the V2. I'm actually, next time I order a saber from them, I'm gonna see if it's possible for them to put a V2 in there, because that one comes loaded with a lot of kind of dark side fonts, and I really kind of dig that. So anyway, yeah, so this is the Enforcer. So I'll give you just one more look at that. And I paid $129 for this. I'm not sure what the regular price is, probably like $149, but you get a lot of bang for your buck. And like I said, the quality control is very high. The finish on this is just really, really just beautiful. Yeah, I'm quite fond of this. I'm really fond of all of my Crimson Dawn sabers. Each one has appeals to me in completely different ways. Currently, I have the Enforcer, the Shrike, Prowler 2, and Banshee. And then I'll have the Osprey on the way. So, yeah, I'm getting quite the collection going. Anyway, so that's going to close out this video. I hope you found what I showed you to be useful. I did forget to mention that when you buy one of these sabers, it does come with a recharge cable for connecting into a device, or if you have an adapter, you can connect it into the wall and recharge it that way. Recharge time takes about 2 to 3 hours. Usually when you receive your saber, it'll be completely drained of power, so just beware. It's going to be a couple hours until you have joy. And they usually come with a little baggie that has your hex wrench for taking the blade out. This particular saber has 2 blade retention screws, and I find that this screw, I think it should be an LED retention screw, but it also kind of holds the blade in as well, so I'm not exactly sure what the deal is here. Yeah, like I said, they give you the hex wrench, the Allen key, whatever you want to call it, and they also give you a full set of extra screws to replace these screws and all the retention screws, and they make sure that you're not one for anything. They just give you the full package, and of course they give you the blade. And for the amount of money and the fact that when you order one, you're usually going to have it within 3 or 4 days, easy peasy. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, I'm gonna just call this video done. And like I said, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you care to. I'd really appreciate it. I'm getting up there. I'm almost at 1,000, so that would be truly fantastic if I can reach 1,000 plus by year's end. Truly amazing, and I thank everyone for their commitment to my channel for some reason. Yeah, and by the way, if you want to comment, I always try to answer as many comments as I can. when I see them, when I'm aware of them, when I actually get the notifications. Even though I have notifications turned on, that doesn't always happen. And like or dislike, whatever your prerogative is. And I'm going to close out this video by letting you watch me swing this thing around outside this morning. So we're going to go back in time a little bit. Hope you don't mind that. And yeah, basically, thanks for watching. And I should have some more content, well, very soon. So take care, and may the force be with everybody. Bye.